situation. Are you going back to the drawing board? Are you just trying to shake it off, or are you just kind of looking at the gallows?
I think you run and hide and you say, let's chalk it up, let's go over to the next map. But unfortunately for them is the next map's going to be split. And if you remember how G2 played against Fabricant on this map, they won 13-2 and it was just another massacre. But the saving grace at least,
my God,
I was going to say, is the fact that they're defending first here and G2 are going to be attacking, but Mixwell just diving in the face with the shorty there. Again, just showing no respect and no remorse and just so much speed with the jet right now.
Yeah. And now look at the situation on the minimap. We've got ardiis going to tuck himself into a corner, get himself nice and comfy.
what is this Suede business? Who is Suede?
It's just an observer bug at the moment.
He's a pistol round legend.
You also might have noticed you've seen all the phantoms, which they don't
No,
have.
I know that, but I'm wondering who is Suede? Why that name? Is that one of the observers?
Surely a Riot employee.
It's got to be a Riot employee.
Right.
Answers in chat. Who is Suede? With the real...
Swim Swady.
I was going to go for it.
The real Swim Swady.
Thank you for following up.
Well, here's Mixwell with the short. He goes straight through the smoke, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am, into Rhyme's face. pAura gets one onto Mixwell, though, so he can respond and make it a 3 versus 3. Davidp going to be here waiting in heaven, though. Prime position to take down Hip. And Hip is going to have no idea. Was caught with a Lear out. But Davidp, interestingly, trying to hop down. He didn't really need to. Had vantage point, but there is going to be a grenade for ardiis. And this
nade
is
is
massive nade. That's going to be one. pyth cleans up. And G2, it might have taken them a little while in that round, but they have got the opener.
That nade was just like, that one's doing damage. You got to watch out for that one. Man, I'm glad I don't play at the pro level or anywhere near it, because if I got shortied at this level, I would be putting holes in my wall. And if I'm playing against Mixwell, I'm going broke due to renovations. Yeah, as soon as this nade comes out, that's in the pocket. That's from downtown right there. That's killing both of them if it wasn't for pyth.
Yeah,
That's
if
a
it wasn't
squish.
for pyth.
Here we go. Yep. Mixwell onto the judge. Dashing an updraft into this same old corner. Looks left, and there's the first victim. Turko wanted to reply with a shorty.
Prodigy.
ardiis gets an over onto luckerrr as well. And this is just going to be a formality this round with the sheer amount of aggression that G2 have to offer. Hip does get a jump in little shot with the classic, and ardiis is weak down there. So Hip and pAura may be making something of this round after all. Heal comes through. But the spike is down, so they need to somehow find their way onto the site. Usually want to go down ramp, but they do know a player is down there, so it makes it very difficult. Instead, they're going to have to go screens. Little do they know, Pat is here with light armor and a phantom. Hip does well with the Lear. Probably just going to save the phantom at this point, if I'm completely honest. Doesn't really have time to get onto the site, but there are going to be 2 players at heaven who are probably going to try and take this off him. Ghost is going to be the initial peak, but Hip makes it a 4K, and it may not be the round, but at least he has done a lot of damage there and also has a phantom to work with.
Now, what weapon do we see? There you go. I was going to say, what weapon do we see Mixwell buy up in the 3rd round? It's going to be an operator.
I think you're legally obligated. If you're winning rounds with the judge, you don't drop it.
It should be a rule. It should be an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
But weapons across the board now. Now we're going to see the real test, because G2 could reset Prodigy here, other than the Phantom saved by Hip. Mixwell going to go for a very aggressive walk peek out through ramp. Nobody holding this right now, so pAura might get the fight of his life if he comes into beat this. But actually, the other way around, pAura is going to find the headshot. Maybe got some information on the spy cam, but he didn't. I just saw where it was. Elsewhere, you're going to see ardiis find Hip up in B heaven after putting pyth down. And ardiis will find a second Ryan peeking out of ropes. And B site looking like it might be the target here. Spike making its way down towards garage. But Pat definitely approaching cautiously.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mixwell was even able to get into that position with the op, completely honest, but pAura doing completely well as ardiis has managed to find his 3rd of the round. luckerrr takes down Pat as ardiis tries to make it 4 with the showstopper, but Davidp will clean up luckerrr being forced out from the showstopper, and it's a 2 versus 1. ardiis has to go and retrieve the bomb. G2 in prime position now. Davidp just going to be watching this defender side spawn, takes down Turko, and it's going to be 3-0 and money sent right back down for Prodigy. And after the opening frag, you'd expect that have been a more comfortable round for Prodigy, but it was all ardiis in the middle of the map, just winning aim duel after aim duel.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I feel, and this is just, again, this is the iron level, just caster feel. It feels like the wind has come out of their sails a little bit on Prodigy side. I mean, it's G2. It's got to be demoralizing to have a random jet jumping into your face all the time. Observers. And there he is. He's doing it again.
Okay.
I mean, when you've got someone like Mixwell just with this amount of confidence pushing onto a site, it makes your life so easy as his teammate because you just have to follow him in. I mean, fair enough to Rhyme taking down ardiis, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough to give Prodigy any chance in this round. But Hip getting the frag onto Mixwell might be. Has a Vandal, and any Reyna always has a chance to go clutch it.
It's only a 2v3. They need another entry into this site, though, and you can see 2 players tucked away already. Pat down at A main, and he's trying to buy some time from Rhyme. And yes, I said that.
Was that intentional? We don't know, but I love it anyway, as Hip can't get the spray down. Pat and David will clean up the round. And again, was that a chance that maybe Emperor should have been popped there from Hip just to try and force something against G2 here? They find themselves 4-0 down, but at least they can buy up again.
The wind from Prodigy sails is actually carrying Mixwell and just, you know, floating him around the map as he does whatever he wants.
That's how he recharges himself.
He's just sucking the life out of poor Prodigy. Like a blood boy. Just like, come over here.
He's just a leech at the moment to any sort of hope for Prodigy. And just look at the lack of respect he has over there on the A site, and they have to back off. They can't even challenging him on ramp here. Mixwell does not give a damn. And he doesn't get the frag, but I mean, it allows the rest of the team to be able to push up middle. Pat takes down luckerrr. Hip's got so much information here, though. Gets the spray down, and he uses the dismiss to get away. A big 2 frags, and can overheal with the next orb, but ardiis at least with a bit of damage control. It's just going to be the 2 players from G2 trying to rescue this round. Surely this is going to be the first for Prodigy, Hypok.
I mean, it should be in the bag here, but pyth and ardiis maybe still something to say about it. ardiis very, very low HP. Let's send some blast packs into the defensive spawn in alley. Turko going to find pyth on site now. Now, there you go. ardiis won't come out on top of that. Rhyme with the teabag. That's interesting after you just got absolutely bodied in the previous map.
He's venting. He's venting. He's just, you know, he's just lashing out. It's like dance fighting. He's got to go.
Don't judge him for it
sometime. Yeah.
No judgment. This is a safe space.
Safe space to teabag.
Mixwell's got the
I'm
judge
seeing
again.
a judge. I'm seeing 2 judges. Okay, they're selling it.
It's a trade.
Don't bait me, Mixwell. I can hear you. You can hear me. Don't. Okay, we have 1 judge. Davidp's got it. They're just buying for each other, passing the judge around.
I mean, it's not quite the same. Davidp can't exactly updraft and dash into someone's face, but does mean the Mixwell will have the op in hand. Rhyme uses the paint shells to try and force anyone away, but Mixwell getting so aggressive up A ramp yet again. Will Rhyme rue the day that he teabagged a member of G2? He's going to be smoked off at the moment. Does have the showstopper to work with, and pyth is going to get that right between the eyes, but Mixwell puts one right between something else of Rhymes. And the res can come through as G2 regain the player advantage here, Hypok.
I just realized there's little dragon wing things on the actual scope when you're in the scope.
Oh, yeah.
And pAura actually going to find Mixwell up in heaven here. Neural Theft going to get popped, and that's going to give the information. You can see Davidp on the X-ray scurrying away through sewers. And there you go. Actually, Pat going to TP all the way over to B site, and luckerrr still lurking behind the default box. ardiis got to take this one very slow. Lucker's going to play his life. He's going to get all the way out. pyth's going to find Hip, and Turko going to respond. ardiis will now find Turko, and that puts Prodigy in a 1v2 situation. Lucker creeping his way back over, but Davidp's going to spot it, and he does not miss those. Fantastic headshot there.
I mean, the confidence, like, he didn't need to peek.
He didn't. He absolutely did not.
If he loses that fight there, he puts his teammate ardiis in such a awkward situation, but G2 just breathing in confidence right now. And Prodigy are going to be on a weak buy.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough. I mean, this is the defensive side, by the way.
Yep. And that's what I mean. I was talking to Hypok about it earlier in the tournament, is that people are changing the way as how Split is approached. It's not being seen as a defensive-sided map so much at the highest competitive level because of what people are able to do and how quickly they're able to push onto sites. At least there's one frag for Prodigy.
They break that wall so quickly that the res isn't even a possibility. And there you go. pyth's going to find the wall bang through to ropes. Ryan will fall now. And the Bucky, the last bastion of hope to defend mailroom here. And Hip, I imagine, is going to try and bait a little bit with the Sheriff. And there you go. Him going down now is probably going to be the go signal to come in. One. Oh, that's all he's going to find with the Bucky. Turko now, bulldog in hand. He's going to be moving through ropes. Finds himself in a 1v3 situation now. But there is a lurker in mid, and he's going to get the audio cue. David now has the information. He's going to peek on, finds that headshot.
Oh, there you go. David Hasselhoff himself out there.
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
And I mean, what do you do now?
He's in his Might Rider.
What do you do now? Okay.
Well, the thing is, Prodigy are very much worried about Mixwell on this A site, that they're sending 2 players to ramp to try and counteract him. That's how much Mixwell is in the head of the team right now for Prodigy. So that means the rest of the team can either just force their way onto A site here, they can walk freely onto A site because of that, or they can go elsewhere. Those 2 members are going to be on ramp yet again. At least the smoke comes through this time to try and do a bit of damage. But Mixwell says, screw your smoke, I don't even give a damn. And Hip and Turko, maybe they've done the hold successfully. 3k for Turko. Davidp has been able to walk onto site, which means he is going to have the jump on them here. Or is he?
Hip read it like a book.
He does indeed. I mean, there was always the potential chance. I think that's one of the biggest things, is communicating to your team to say, this person could be here because we weren't able to watch X location. That doesn't happen at a base matchmaking level very often, but happens a lot at your highest tier Valorant.
I mean, this is they're still not out of the woods just yet. They definitely need to put up a few more rounds. We talk about 4 or 5 rounds being the benchmark to go for. And I don't know what the answer is here. pAura actually going to push all the way up. Deny that ultimate from Mixwell. pyth will find pAura in response, and Turko down to 10 HP. He's going to have to back up a little bit towards ramp. Lucker now comes with the operator. Nothing going to be found outside of dark cover, and ardiis will find Hip. Turko poised now with the orbital strike, and it's going to go down on site to stop the plant initially, and that's going to force Pat all the way into corner, but no peek from Lucker there. But Davidp found himself in the same position again. He finds one, he finds a second. That is huge from the Battle Sage.
The Battle Sage.
Battle Sage.
Maybe if there's ever any skins introduced for the actual agents, Battle Sage sounds like it would definitely be a skin for her.
You can see her wearing like a football helmet and shoulder pads with like one of those things from American Gladiators. You know?
Exactly.
The camouflage smears on her cheeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 7-2 now for G2, and it already feels like game over at this point, and it shouldn't, but it does, and that's not a good place to be in for Prodigy. Their buy is still a bit iffy. A couple of half armors to work with. Lucker going glass cannon. Rhyme looks like he's going to get aggressive here at B.
You don't want to get aggressive onto 4 members of G2 staring down garage.
Yeah, as soon as he heard that boom bot, he was completely out of dodge. The nade will come through to do a little bit of damage, but Mixwell is already on site with the Judgy boy. Can't unfortunately connect with it. Instead, luckerrr is going to be there to get the frag with the op. And there is a little bit of a defense here on the B site, but ardiis with an incredible nade, but Rhyme follows up. ardiis denies him getting anything more as the Leah comes out to try and encourage the boys out of heaven.
pAura. Where are you going? You're sneaking through garage, and this could be... Actually, G2 playing complete opposite sides to this. Pat's already wrapping through alley, and he's all the way into defensive spawn. ardiis going to shut down the flank from pAura. pyth will find hip. And there you go. Turko comes out, finds a Spectre kill, but he's still got to worry about Pat all the way back in alley, who's on site now. Turko, 1v2 situation. Not a lot of time left. He goes for the wallbang on the box, and that's just going to give the information over to ardiis, who peeks over and finds a headshot.
ardiis is going to have 30 frags if this thing goes for like 17 rounds. How many frags? What is he at right now? 15.
I'm not sure this game will go on long enough for him to get
don't think
30.
so
I would also agree with that.
Can we officially claim ardiis as one of our own hypoc? Like, it's like a Tim Henman situation where, like, he's not really English, but he is kind of English. Can we call him
Judge
English?
alert. Judge alert.
It's rare we ever claim a Liverpudlian as our own. But
This is also true.
I will allow it in this case.
Well, the judge in the hands of Mixwell and the face of Turko has been well and truly ripped off. And just look at how successfully he can updraft and move around this map, traverses his way up towards A heaven. And now he can be a real nuisance. He's got past the Bucky situation, but luckerrr can take down ardiis. Pat's there to trade as Mixwell is being a real nuisance over here towards the defensive spawn.
He's waiting for his dash to reset, I promise. Oh, it is reset. Everything's
It is
great.
reset out of the two. From behind. Rhyme's actually been able to find a double. Hip has been able to do a job here as well.
It feels like the round is like, I mean, with eight rounds on attack, on split.
Oh, pyth.
Make it 9.
Again, there is a skill in hitting dart shots in both the owl drone and out of the camera. I know there's a lot of auto aim that's involved, but I've seen so many missed that when you do connect with them, it's very satisfactory.
The thing is, especially there where,
Satisfactory?
What factory is going to be satisfied by this?
Especially there, though, 1v1 situation. Hip's got, time working against him there. Even just, the spy cam dart hitting him. It's something to throw you off kilter. You have to spin and deal with that spy cam. Otherwise, the information is just fed over to the Cypher. You see Mixwell again go for this peek. ardiis charging up mid with a showstopper. He's going to get himself ropes control for free. Mixwell finds Turko. And that is going to be an A split coming out here. Got 2 members still over here. Bladestorm popped. And he will receive himself a little heal. pAura in the spy cam of his own. Let's see where they go with this one. Pat's TP going to be cancelled.
Pat's TP was literally just used to gain information as to where the players are going to be on A site. luckerrr has taken out Mixwell. Hip is now going to be coming from behind with a judge, but maybe damage already done as pAura and luckerrr have fallen elsewhere. Rhyme will get the frag onto Davidp, though. So at least they're not too far behind, but it walks straight into the bullets of ardiis.
It's disgusting.
ardiis has been on fire, not just this game, but this entire tournament, as pyth cleans up the round. I mean, it was a little bit sloppy, but that's going to be 10-2 for G2 after their attacking half.
He's been watching my guide videos.
How to Iron by Moses.
The Iron Throne.
Right, I'm going to need a vote yeah or vote nay in chat right now if we want to see Mixwell run the judge for the final 2 rounds. And yes, I'm going to call it.
It's 10-2. They take 10 rounds on attack on split.
Well, I'm calling it now. G2 win the pistol and it goes 13-2. I just want to see the judge get 2 full rounds for the victory dance almost.
Can we not? Because if Mixwell continues this, the judge is going to get nerfed, and then there's going to be no way I get kills in matchmaking.
There's no way they're nerfing the judge. Okay? Like 85% of players are gold.
Are you sure they're not nerfing the judge? I mean, I don't know. That thing is damn strong. Well, that is going to be a very heavy push here towards the A site, and Hip is going to get the opener. pAura and Rhyme are maybe going to make you count your blushes, high as pAura gets the 4th, and we're not going to see the pistol victory unless pyth pulls out a 1 versus 5 with the classic. And
Let's
whilst
go,
I'm not
pyth.
going to say it's impossible, I don't think it's probable. Hip gets yet another frag, and Prodigy put one on the board.
That's going to be 10-4, maybe 10-5. And then I think that's as far as Prodigy's going to be able to get. But, you know, miracles can happen. It is a Sunday afternoon / evening / Monday, depending on where you are in the world. And, you know, they could put it together. This is a top level team. I feel bad for Prodigy because when you're losing this badly, it kind of feels like, you know, you don't really get the respect you deserve for making it this far. But Prodigy has been playing well. That's what the reason they're here. But I mean, G2 is on another level. ardiis has got nearly 20 frags at the half.
Here comes Mixwell with the short. He's able to connect with one onto Ryan, but luckerrr stops him in his tracks from doing any more damage. But the information was already gathered and maybe slowed down Prodigy ever so slightly. The rest are going to storm into heaven here and into the pistol of ardiis, but Turko cleans up and gets 2, make that 3. pAura rounds out the round for 10-4. Now Prodigy put a second on the board, but this is where G2 can finally buy guns. And I don't think you're going to see the judge here, if I'm completely honest, Hypoc.
Sad face.
Hypoc sad, chat sad, Moses sad.
We all sad. Now you got to feel for Prodigy, man. They've had like just an absolute grind to get here. I mean, we've been on broadcast for 12 hours. They've been on broadcast for 12 hours, and they've been having to work way harder than we have, or at least way harder than I have. So I mean, it's
Glad you
shout out to these guys,
corrected
man.
that.
They're leaving it out there.
I mean, the amount of focus that it takes to play at this level for that amount of time, especially with periodic breaks too,
Look at the rush.
is so rough. But ardiis will find
Get
one.
him.
It's not going to be a double. Davidp can follow up. He's got so much info here. If only there was a nade from ardiis available. Can't connect with the second, but he will whip out the classic for a third as pat cleans up the 4th. And that just leaves one lonely old player still in mailroom. And pat just about diving away. Only going to be
no HP. Oh,
pAura,
1 HP.
literally 1 HP. Moses,
yeah.
close out this round.
Ladies and gentlemen, pAura, 1 HP, lurking, coming back through garage, spotted by the camera. He's going to have to back this up. Removing the tracking dart, headed back towards market. 1 man, 1 desire, 1 hit point. Can he do it? Lurking back through garage now. Waiting for his opportunity. He's crouching. He's not crouching. He's dead. The round is over. 11-4 for G2.
I mean, that's made my day, and hopefully Twitch chat, that's made yours as well. If you're tired of our British accents, there we go. We get some soothing American tones in your ears
How
instead.
dare you?
Sorry.
Canadian,
Sorry, Canadian. My apologies.
Well, just while we're on the subject, I did see somebody compare our cast after we were dying in the previous series to it being as boring as listening to cricket.
The advantage. Spray down comes out, and Turko will get one onto David, and now G2 down to just 3. Whilst ardiis has had such a good game so far, does he have the manpower to push out of heaven? pAura takes down pat. And now it's down to ardiis and pyth. Well, ardiis will at least start things well onto the opposition cipher of pAura. pyth has been able to clean out this side, so now they can both push comfortably from ramp if they would like to, but it looks like it's going to be the save for them here, Hypoc.
Yep. Maybe look for some exits, but everybody else stacking up towards the screen side of A site, so I don't think they're going to find any value off this, but keeping 2 weapons on the board, important nonetheless. Now, I mean, Prodigy is stringing some rounds together. It's definitely not over just yet, but they can only afford 1 or 2 mistakes, Dan. And that's a tall order against a team like G2.
Prodigy, I mean, equally showing a lot of aggression here on their attacking side, and it has been working out, just bursting onto this A site. Well, as you say, as soon as it goes wrong once, then suddenly that's G2 on 12, and then things become a little bit more nervy, and then you're going to be more reluctant. Was that Richard Sims just painted on a wall?
It does look a bit like Sims, yeah.
Not many people are going to know who Richard Sims is
Richard
in the
Sims
Valorant
has
world.
never taken his shirt off, and that's legally mandated. It would be like the sun would hit him, and it would be like a leer. Everyone would go blind.
Us poor gingers.
What are you laughing about? Your complexion's the same.
I mean, you know, because I actually tan. I'm a daywalker, okay? Well, as the rest of the squad of Prodigy now are going to walk on into B site quite comfortably because G2 had stacked over towards A. Davidp trying to get any sort of spam through the smoke as they are going to be on a weak buy here, G2. Prodigy more than likely going to go up to 6 rounds unless we see something special. But we move over to someone special. It's going to be Mixwell. He is going to have the Bladestorm available to him with a shorty in the back pocket, and that is a terrifying, terrifying factor. Does have a couple of updrafts, but doesn't have the dash, which means that he has to just WK in, manages to find one onto Lucker. Now can he do any more damage? He's running out of time, has to look back sight, can't connect with the second, and we're not going to see anything too miraculous this day.
They will respond again, though. They are biting back. And I'm not going to lie, after that first half performance, I didn't think there was anything left in the tank.
If G2 somehow allows Prodigy to get to the next game, like by some miracle, would you call that like sleep deprivation or torture, or would you call that throwing?
Arguably both.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. A small pinch of both.
There's also, I mean, my mind is torn. Part of me would love to see a comeback from Prodigy, all right? But
of course.
Part of me likes sleep.
I hate you so much for saying that. Even tempting.
I'm going to tempt
because you casted a powerful spell.
Imagine the comeback from Prodigy here and the scenes if they're able to get a victory. And that's going to be pyth falling, which means that B site's going to be somewhat open, but they are actually just going to fake this one. It looks like the wall goes out. And they back off. It's an interesting fake. Maybe they're hoping that no one else was on the site and they would just hear the wall, but elsewhere Pat has taken down Turko.
That's tough. That's tough, because he's all the way over in A heaven, and that's going to give the information. ardiis has already rejoined his teammate, and Mixwell's back at screens. Took a little peek, didn't see anything, but the A push is still on. Rhyme is going to find Pat now, and there you go. Mixwell with a rare miss outside the dark cover, but the second one lands. ardiis will find 2 with the showstopper. Now 1 member left, and guess who it is? It's our boy pAura the Lurker. Davidp, all the way back at
he's getting maybe an angle.
Yeah, I mean, he could get this, and then it's going to put it a 1v2 situation. There you go, a freebie. Neural Theft popped. He's going to get the information on the remaining 2 players. And there you go. Now he's got the spy cam. He's been planning this from the start.
What?
Is he going to be able to pull this off, Dan?
Well, manages to grab the spike. He pushed onto site whilst the dart was in Mixwell's backside.
They're calling sight. They know he's there.
Well, they certainly know the plant is happening. But he went for the fake because he heard the steps, and now he's only got 8 seconds, so they just have to wait this one out before he connects with Mixwell.
He finds the
second as well. The 3K clutch from pAura. This game is not over yet.
Oh my God.
What's the money? Show us the money.
Show me the money.
pAura.
Observers, if you could just press tab for us, that would be phenomenal. Thank you.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so G2 on an iffy buy, but they are opting to buy up.
I mean, that was phenomenal. They want this over with.
Right.
That is a tilting round to lose. I don't care how composed you are. That is a tilting round to lose.
Well, Pat's going to be the first point of defense here, and there are 4 members in his dark cover. But unfortunately, he gets caught firing another dark cover out of his hands, which is going to allow Turko and the rest of the guys to push up ramp. Mixwell gets sprayed through the wall, and Prodigy on a little bit of a tear now, really generating momentum. And with the spike going down, that is going to be the call for a save from G2, because on the opposite side, they have an op and they have a couple of vandals as well. I mean, just going back to that previous round, Hyperk, I mean, it's a 1 versus 2. You go for the fake plant. There's only 8 seconds left. Realistically, both those players could have just hid away. Waited for the plant and then sprayed through the billboard. You are completely right. A very tilting round that they shouldn't have lost, as Turko will stop Davidp from being able to save. And Prodigy are on the hunt here now.
What was it at the half? 10-2?
It was indeed. pyth connects with one, but pAura from behind. At least a couple of
This is
weapons.
spooky as hell is what this is.
This is terrifying. Prodigy are building momentum. G2 have only been able to reply with 1 round in this second half. And Prodigy, meanwhile, have put 6 on the board. And you got to assume it's going to be 7 here as well.
They were memeing. Like there was points where like G2 was playing with their food a little bit and it's crawled off the table, grown a little bit, now it's biting them in the ass. A long-winded metaphor, but you understand it, I hope.
Well, it's like Space Jam, really, isn't it? And now Prodigy are starting to turn into the Monstars. And they've sucked all of the goodness out of G2. As I say, that ardiis does get the opener onto pAura. But the rest of the team of G2, they don't really have the weapons to work with, but maybe they can do some damage here with a couple of shotguns here or there. ardiis, again, is going to push out and get aggressive. Does get one. Can he find a second? No, he can't. Rhyme takes down pyth with the blast packs, and there is the TP available for Pat to try and catch them off guard to gain a little bit of info.
Oh, love this.
Does have a bucky to work with. Right-click twice onto hip. And maybe G2 can salvage something from this round after all. It's going to be a 2 versus 3, though, and maybe a reposition from Prodigy. Mixwell with a judge finds one, gets himself a Vandal. And now it's going to be a 2 versus 2, as Mixwell just gets out of dodge. He wants to reposition. He wants to be as unpredictable as possible, and quite rightly so.
Mail room to be, yep.
Pat can just watch heaven here. Turko has orbital strike. Has sent it towards A. And that has baited out Pat as well. The perfect bait. Hook, line, and sinker. And it all comes down to Mixwell in a 1 versus 2.
This is potentially huge here. This could turn the tide in either direction for either team. 1 man, 1 desire, 1 vandal, 2 enemies, 11 rounds.
Oh, we spotted the head. And there you go. Mixwell going to find Turko.
On 1. The ultimate. Oh.
Oh, he connects with it as well. Mixwell goes huge. All starting with the judge. A nod from the observers. As Mixwell sends G2 to 12 rounds. And certainly not the easy rounds that maybe G2 were expecting in this second half, but they finally get themselves onto match point.
I mean, they could afford 2 mistakes. Now, they can't afford any. Can Prodigy maintain this tempo?
Well, if they don't, it's going to be game over. So, I mean, they had a buffer. It's gone now.
It's completely gone now. No margin for error at all. It looks like we're going to get all 5 attackers stacked up towards A. Double cyber cage down. Showstopper gets popped, and actually, Rhyme's going to push all the way up and try and clear his way through heaven. He's actually going to get a lot of damage there. Cloudburst from Mixwell goes down. Lear comes out from hip in the counter. Now you're going to see G2 panic a little bit here. They haven't given up full heaven control, but the spike, meanwhile, going through sewers. And we're going to have a couple of lurkers around A main here, whilst pAura makes it away with the spike. No real execute coming out just yet. We'll have to see what they make of this.
Davidp has moved on into ropes and somewhat watching middle here. But that sewer rotate is now heading back towards A. Hip in such a good position, and I don't think Pat has any idea he's there. As soon as Hip swings, he should be guaranteed a kill here. He just needs help from his team. Is he going to get spotted out, though? He is, as ardiis. That's a huge frag now. As G2 take the player advantage. And Prodigy starting to run out of time. Mixwell makes things even more difficult. ardiis onto Turko, and maybe this is the beginning of the end now. Rhyme is going to drop down. pAura at least will find one, but Pat is there. 17 seconds remaining. Rhyme needs to hurry things up if he wants to keep Prodigy in this game. Davidp, though, ruins the day. 13-8, and G2 will be the...